Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, UK's premier business show where we feature business thought leaders, high achievers, and industry experts. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions Limited, a company that specializes in helping executive business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host, Yeukai Ketchadori.
Hi guys, welcome back to another very special episode. And today I'm so excited about this subject we're going to be talking about, which is all about email marketing and digital marketing. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard people say, your list decides your wealth, or it is all in the list? So many ways they talk about that. Here's the truth I've discovered in running a business in over 10 years now, that if you have your email list and you know how to generate an email list, you are way ahead in this game of getting your business ahead. So you are going to discover how to do it properly with my guest here, Michael Winter. So stay tuned. Michael, before I jump onto our conversation, how are you, man? And thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I'm good. The UK, I'm good. Thank you. And yeah, the pleasure's all mine. Thanks very much for having me.
Beautiful. Yeah, I was in Wales, sort of close to a part of your world there, and I loved it. And I'm glad that we've got Welsh people on the show today.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's brilliant. Now, before we jump into the interview, I want to remind you guys, if you haven't come on Clubhouse to join me in my regular room, you're missing out. I want to invite you to come and check out what we are doing over there. We're having an enormous success on Clubhouse. So just look for Yeukai Business Show and you'll be able to join us there. We would love to serve you. We'd love to answer any question that you may have around business and business growth. Now, let's go back to our show today. Now, there are things, but one of the things that stands out for me is his ability to generate over 3,000 email subscribers in 7 days for his clients, even if they were new. We want to talk about that today. Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself, some of the things that you've done, and perhaps something that people don't know about you.
Yeah, okay, cool. So my name is Michael Winter. I run a digital marketing agency called Lightbulb Media, and primarily we focus on done-for-you digital marketing services for small businesses, and specifically small businesses who are just getting started. So people who maybe haven't started to get any traction and are struggling with no leads or no sales, maybe even no site traffic whatsoever. So that's the agency side of things. And then we also have a new education side of the business that we're introducing right now called Lightbulb Learnables. And that is aimed at focusing on and helping people who are literally just getting started, that are in the first few weeks or few months of running their online business. And if they're normally the people who have no marketing budget. So they aren't in a position to pay for a digital marketing agency to do the work for them. So they're kind of struggling. They don't really know what to do. So I'd like to be able to help those people to teach them to do marketing for themselves until they reach a point in their business where they're able to afford a marketing budget and pay for somebody to do it for them. And then to ask me something that people probably don't know about me. Interesting. So, okay, here's a good one. So I used to work in construction. I was working in construction for 10 years.
Yes.
And it was not a job I was passionate about. It was a career that I kind of fell into through family friends, and it ended up being something I was good at, but it wasn't the career that I wanted to stay in. So after 10 years, I became bored with it, and I wanted to do something more creative. So I had the original idea of starting a lifestyle magazine for men because I enjoy writing, so I enjoy creative writing. So I spoke to a friend of mine about this idea.
And I remember you mentioning that, and they laughed at you, didn't they?
Yeah, basically, he's now my business partner, actually. But yeah, basically, he said, okay, yeah, great idea, but how are you going to get people to read your stuff? And I'm like, okay, I don't know. I have no idea. So, and that's an important part of it, obviously. So that was when I started to learn about digital marketing, and it ended up being something that I was just drawn to straight away. So I ended up in digital marketing, and I can combine the creative writing element that I'm passionate about and that I enjoy so much with marketing as well, which is great. But at the beginning, I was unsure. I was unsure about how I would get clients and how it would be believable to people. So in my group of friends and my family, they all know me as Lee Winter. So my full name is Michael Lee Winter.
Right.
So I faced a little bit of imposter syndrome at the beginning. And I was like, right, okay, are people going to find me credible if I just go by my normal name with my civil engineering background? So I decided to create new social media profiles and everything around the name Michael Winter instead, so that I had a blank canvas to work from, so that people didn't wrongly assume I didn't know what I was doing with digital marketing because of my construction background. So that's probably something that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah. You know what I love about that story is it represents the majority of us. Because when you are getting started, I remember in 2009 or 2020, just having finished university, I was telling my aunties and those that were close to me how excited I was going to go into business now that university is finished and all that. And they would look at me and say, you're going to business, you. And I'll say, yeah, me, I'm going to business. Now look, 11 years later, some of them, I say this humbly, they're working for me. So it's like, okay. Never underestimate the power of small beginnings. You never know where things will go. I love that story. And, let's talk about, in fact, before we do that, this is where you coined the phrase that you want to help people get rid of the zeros. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so it's something that I've come across a lot in working with clients that are just getting started. But it was one I'm trying to fix my own problem, basically. It's a problem that I had when I first got started. So it took me maybe 7 or 8 months to learn about digital marketing. And in that time, I didn't know how to get traffic to the website at all. So I would just sit there looking at the Google Analytics dashboard or whatever analytics dashboard you care about. And it's just a row of zeros. Nobody's coming to your website. Nobody's reading your stuff. Nobody's joining your email list. Nobody's buying anything. And that is super disheartening. And it doesn't matter what zero it is that causes you concern. It's demoralizing and it can keep you up at night. Oh, yeah. Because if you don't know how to fix it, it's like staring into a black hole. You're putting out all of this effort and you've created this amazing product or service or whatever it is, and literally nobody knows about it. So that's what I better focus on now, or at least that's what I would like to educate people in, is getting over that really, really difficult first hurdle, because then this traction will start coming in, and inertia can start working in your favor eventually. But pushing against inertia in the first place, it's really tough, and it can be daunting.
It is, yes, and a good story for this, because in the beginning it was really difficult. I cannot tell you how many times I wanted to give up in the first few years, because I was fighting my own unbelief. I was fighting the imposter syndrome. I was fighting the resistance, not knowing how to enter the new market, how to communicate with the customers or potential clients, how to maintain them. So it was a whole lot of things happening. But I'm here to tell you, if you're listening, and you're going through that this will pass. In fact, the benefits far outweigh the struggles that you're going through, and you're going to have a laugh at the end of it. You just need to stay in the path and keep on going despite everyone. You've got to develop this thick skin that say, I don't care what people say. I don't care, how I feel. I'm going to go after my goals and make it happen. And someone once say, the people that get ahead in this world are the people that get up, look for the set of circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, they make them. And that's what happens there. So, Mike, let's dive into email marketing. At what point did you realize that this is an area to focus on?
I think email marketing, you hear it a lot. You mentioned it in the introduction that the money is in the list. So I think a lot of people understand the importance of email marketing, but it's something I've seen that gets pushed down the line because other things are more attractive or easier, or the potential for revenue is more lucrative on other areas. So email marketing, as unsexy as it is, it's still probably the most profitable channel in terms of marketing and digital marketing specifically. But people, like I said, they kind of put it to one side because Facebook posts are more entertaining to create, or a YouTube video is cooler to put together, and to have your product out there on YouTube is much better. Or SEO in the long run is free. It only costs you your time. So people focus on SEO, and on and on and on. There's so many different things. But fundamentally, your email list is actually the only asset of your business that you really own when it comes to your customer base. Because if you build a huge audience on Facebook, on YouTube, forgive me, Clubhouse, Google, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what platform you use to build up your audience. It can be taken away from you like that because you don't own the platform.
That's right.
Whereas email marketing, you do. Maybe you don't own the email service provider you use. You don't own MailChimp or ConvertKit or whatever, but you do own the list. And you can take that list to any email service provider that you use. There will always be a multitude of email service providers. So that's why I put so much significance and emphasis on the email marketing, because apart from it being the most profitable channel, it's also the most dependable one that you can take even from business to business if you wanted to branch out. It's not something that's always recommendable. But if you've got a list you can go to time and time again and ask for reviews or sales or engagement, whatever it may be, those people are always going to be there. And, Donald Trump provided a brilliant example to us all when he lost access to his Twitter. That was his channel to speak to his audience. Bang. Lost it because he misused it. And you don't even need to misuse it. Facebook is another great example. How many people have had their Facebook ad accounts disapproved or deactivated recently because of an error with Facebook's algorithm? So if your main marketing channel is Facebook ads, all of a sudden you can't market at all if you've got no alternative. So it's important to have a multi-channel approach, and we'll speak about that a little bit later. But at the end of the day, email marketing is the one that's the most reliable.
Amazing. Absolutely. I agree with you 100% there. I'm going to reveal something that a lot of my listeners don't know. I was late in the game, wanted to do everything else apart from building email marketing and my email list. And I regret that terribly. I wish somebody like you had stepped in and said, hey, come on, you need to, this is what you do first, and not some sense in me. Because I lost a lot of opportunities because I did not have my own list. I had to depend on other people and all the other things that truly vanish. So I'm glad we're talking about this at this moment. You've got an amazing story, Michael, of how you help this company generate over 3,000 email subscribers in a very short space of time. Do you mind sharing that with my audience today?
Yeah, absolutely. So because of an NDA, I can't go into very specific details. I can't name the client or the industry or anything like that. But I can talk about the tactic that we used to achieve the results. Yeah. So there's a number of ways that you can grow your email list, and the best way to do it is to have it occur passively through your website. Right. But there are specific campaigns that you can run which actually target the building of your emails, and you can do it quite quickly if you get the campaign set up properly and optimized correctly. So the way that we did it was, it's one of my favorite tactics. It's via a viral giveaway. Awesome. And it's a little bit complicated to explain, but basically, if you think of a viral giveaway like a raffle, so every time somebody goes to your competition landing page and they enter their email address to gain entry into the competition, they are given, let's say, 1 raffle ticket or 10 raffle tickets, whatever. And once they've entered, they are then taken to, it's like a confirmation page or a thank you page. But on that page, actually, there are a whole host of sharing actions and other different types of actions that you want the entrant to take. So you can say to them, if you share this competition on Facebook, I'll give you another raffle tickets. If you share it on Twitter, I'll give you another 20 raffle tickets. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll give you 50 tickets. If you complete the survey form telling me what you think about my service and my products, I'll give you 100 tickets, and on and on and on. You can basically incentivize people to take whatever action you want and grow whatever channels it is that you're hoping to grow. But all of those are, let's say, welcome byproducts of the original objective of a viral giveaway, and that is to acquire the email of the entrant in the first place. Yeah, and it's not very it's not black and white. There is a downside to giveaways because, unfortunately, that type of campaign can attract what's known as compers, and basically people who are just in it for the free prize, and they have absolutely they have no care in the world about what it is that you do, what your product is. That once they find out that they didn't win, they're gone, and they're not interested in you whatsoever. But there are ways to combat that then by picking, for example, like a very relevant prize and cleaning your email list after the fact, after the competition.
Yes. We've used a tool called Viral Loop for something similar like this. And we have used Viral Loop to promote my podcast. This show that you're listening to, we give people an opportunity to be in our private membership. And they share and share and share. It's incredibly powerful. Have you used Viral Loop, or what sort of tools do you use, Michael?
Yeah, so Viral Loops is one of my favorite ones. I do like that tool a lot. The interface is great. I've spoken quite a lot with the guys on the back end of Viral Loops as well. Actually, they're very, very helpful people. So yeah, Viral Loops is a really good one. Another one that I know well, and I know some of the people who work on this tool as well, is Up Viral. Again, it's an excellent tool. I suppose the downside of each of those is that they're both paid tools. So if you don't have a great marketing budget, then it can be a big outgoing to pay monthly fees for something like Viral Loops or Up Viral. Of course, if you pay for a tool like that, you're going to get a lot of features and you're going to be able to do a lot of different things. But if you're on a small budget, then there's a free version called King Sumo, which is run by Noah Kagan and the Sumo guys. And that's a very good tool. Like, there is a paid version of King Sumo, but the free version will cover a lot of the basics if you want to run a successful viral giveaway.
Yeah. I picked up a Viral Loop on AppSumo. For those who don't know, AppSumo is a great.
So did I.
So you have a lifetime deal, which we have used on many of the things I use for my marketing. I get them from there. They should give me some money because I'm doing publicity for them.
Oh, they're excellent though, and if you guys don't follow Noah Kagan, I would strongly recommend it because he's excellent. The advice that he gives to the small business owners is fantastic.
That's awesome. What sort of mistakes have you noticed, Michael, that people make when it comes to email marketing?
When it comes to email marketing,
yes.
So I think there's a lot of different mistakes. So let's speak specifically about viral giveaways, for example. If you just run a giveaway like this and then you don't clean your list afterwards, then you're going to have a lot of people on your email list that don't really care about your offering. So if you run a giveaway, then one of the first things you need to do after the giveaway has closed is to, and this sounds counterintuitive, I know, or at least counterproductive, is to ask people to unsubscribe, because you don't want people on your list who are never going to open your emails, or if they do, they're never going to interact with you. And that hurts your open rates, and it will hurt your long-term deliverability rates. So my advice in that scenario is to send, and the first email after the giveaway would be something along the lines of, thanks for entering, very sorry, unfortunately you weren't the winner. This is what you can expect from us. You can expect from us an email every few days so that we can introduce ourselves, and then an email once a month about what we've got going on, blah, blah, blah. If this doesn't sound interesting to you, please unsubscribe, because we don't want to send you stuff you're not interested in, and you don't want to receive stuff that you aren't interested in. And just that simple method can actually clean your list very, very quickly of the people who were only in the giveaway campaign for the free stuff, So that's that. I would say that's a big mistake that people make where giveaways are concerned. For email marketing in general, I think that people just don't utilize it enough. If your website is set up properly, one of the fundamentals of a properly optimized website, and I'm not talking about SEO here, I'm talking about user experience and capturing information, is to have some sort of email capture, whether it's content upgrades or a very appealing newsletter, or a lead magnet where you exchange some sort of information, a PDF or whatever, in exchange for an email address. And if you don't have that set up, then I would strongly recommend it. A lot of people are against the idea of an exit pop-up, for example, but they work. So I would suggest that people just get over that concern and just have an exit pop-up, collect the email addresses, and then run a welcome sequence. You can have that running on autopilot, basically. You set it up once, and then a welcome sequence of 4, 5, 6 emails that introduces you to your audience and helps to build that relationship and grow the trust. It will do wonders for you in future when it's time for you to introduce a product or service to them. And I think that that's something that people don't really take full advantage of. It's something that should be set and forget. You set it up once, it's passive, and it grows that relationship as soon as somebody has found you. Yeah. And then when it comes to like monthly newsletters or monthly offerings that you have, they already know who you are. You're not randomly landing in their inbox for the first time 3 or 4 weeks after they first found you to tell them about a sale that you've got going on or a new product. They don't know you. You haven't introduced yourself properly. So you're expecting a lot then to turn that kind of very, very lukewarm lead into a customer.
That's right. That's right. It's very easy to miss out on creating an email list because you think that's a lot of work to be done in one sitting. But there are some amazing softwares like Funnel Script, that is designed by Russell Brunson. For those who follow Russell Brunson, it helps you structure all that. So I recommend you get access to that if you can. If you don't, you just need to write something out about yourself, about why you do what you're doing, and get some of the struggles that you've gone through to become what you're doing, and really position yourself as an expert. Get people to become familiar with you, and they will love you for it. In fact, it makes a huge difference as well. You touched on lead magnet there, which is one of the important aspects of email marketing. Because if you've got a lousy lead magnet, people are not going to exchange anything.
No, that's absolutely right.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so people are, it might have been from maybe 15 years ago, but people are protective of their emails now because everybody's inbox is just crammed full of stuff that they don't read, they're not really interested in. So because the influx of emails on a daily basis is so vast, people are protective over it now. So they don't just give out their emails as freely as maybe they did in the past. So you've got to really entice them with something that makes it worth their while. If I give you my email address, firstly, is the lead magnet, the PDF, whatever it may be, is it going to be worth my time? Or have you just called it something and you've completely missold me? You've mislabeled it because it's actually crap. Yeah, and then secondly, yeah, of course it. And then secondly, are you going to then pepper my inbox with crap and spam the hell out of me? And I'm going to regret signing up in the first place. So the lead magnet obviously is the cornerstone of that. It's offering real value, not just something blasé that takes you 10 minutes to put together, whatever it may be, 3 killer subject lines for great email marketing, something that's so low effort that people can see right through it. It's got to have real value to it. And if it has real value to it, it'll be a no-brainer. You'll know if you've got a good lead magnet because people will tell you, they will reply to your emails and tell you, oh my God, that was amazing. Why are you giving that away for free?
Exactly.
And that's what you want a lead magnet to be, because you can't guarantee that somebody is going to ever return to your website after they've left. So the first time they arrive on your website, you need to get them to take some sort of action. Now, if you're in FMCG products and you're asking people to make a 10 or 15 pound purchase at the time they arrive, okay, you don't need a great buyer. That's not a long buyer's journey. So you don't need a kind of long welcome sequence to introduce that kind of product. But if your buyer journey, like most people's, is a little bit longer because either your product needs a little bit of education behind it or your services are more expensive than the cost of a cup of coffee, then you need to have people on your email list. Yeah. And you need to offer them value via the lead magnet, because if they arrive on your website, then it's not the right time, or they're not in the right headspace, or they haven't got the correct money at that time, or the whole glut of objections that a person will have when they first arrive on a website. Yeah. If they leave and they haven't given you anything, that could be it. They could be gone forever. And the next time they search for something similar, they could end up on your competitor's website instead. So that's why it's so critical to get them to take some sort of action. The best form of action is to get them to input their email address. And the best way to get their email address, encourage them to do that, is to have a lead magnet that is a no-brainer for them to get.
Absolutely. We recently launched a training course called How to Start, Scale, and Monetize Your Podcast. I'm sort of going after people who want to take advantage of the growing industry of podcasting, which is going to be a $1 billion industry by the end of this year. So we sat down with my team and thought, okay, what can we give people as a lead magnet? So we had cheat sheet and all sort of things came up. But the thing that is converting so much for us is we prepared 48 most frequently asked questions around how to start, scale, and monetize podcasting. We put them together and we created answers to that. So when people land on my page, they say, hey, get all answers to these most frequently asked questions. And people say, oh, these are the most frequently asked questions. And they put their email address straight away. And of course, it's incredible. Somebody may be thinking, where do you get these frequently asked questions? There is a beautiful website there called answerthepublic.com. If you go on there, type in any word or any niche you are in, it will tell you exactly what people are searching in Google right now about that topic. And then, of course, you can do a little bit of research, which my team has done, go into the forums, in Facebook groups. And, of course, my latest one right now is Clubhouse, where people are asking questions all the time. We took all those ones and compiled a beautiful thing. So if you're thinking about a lead magnet, that could work, that idea. Answer people's questions, because the chances are you answer the question that they are already thinking about, but they don't know how to put it in words. So that will work. Michael, is there anything that I have not touched on around email marketing that you wish everybody would know about if they are going to use this medium of marketing?
I think we've kind of touched upon this a little bit already, but I still feel it should be said. I think it should be emphasized is that if you haven't begun growing your email list yet, then do it immediately. It should be the first thing you do when you set up your website. So if somebody's out there who has got started yet, the website is still under development, or they still the business idea is still only in their brain. It's not taken form yet. Make sure you start building your email list from day one. And if you haven't done that, then start building it straight away. Like tomorrow morning, make sure that that's something that you prioritize. Because as you've already pointed out, Yeukai, you regret not doing it. And everybody says the same thing. Everybody regrets not doing it earlier. So if you haven't done it already, then do it right now.
Yes. The thing about it is you don't realize how valuable it is until you have progressed and you think, oh my gosh, when you start seeing the results of using email marketing, you think, I could have gotten these results way back when I was starting. That's what you're thinking yourself. But, it's part of learning the process of being an entrepreneur. I want to ask something, because you're a business owner. A lot of business owners are struggling right now, maybe because of the different times that we have. What are you doing, Michael, to keep yourself so focused on your goals, upbeat and out and about, sharing your message on podcasts like this ones?
Being in digital marketing, I think we were lucky. It was strange. So we had a lot of clients that had brick and mortar businesses, and then we had a lot that were online only. So when the pandemic hit and everything was different, not everybody was kind of uncertain. So we lost, or rather, a lot of brick and mortar clients that we had wanted to hit pause and say, we've got to close. We've got no revenue coming in, so it doesn't make sense for us to continue marketing. So, that's fine. No problem at all. We'll hit pause for as long as you need. So we lost some revenue in that respect. But the flip side of that is companies that were online only, they saw a big uptick in the revenue that they were doing.
Oh, yes.
So some of the clients that we had on board wanted increased services, and we managed to acquire some new clients as well, because online and digital marketing wasn't something that they properly considered. It wasn't something they tackled properly in the past. So it was kind of swings and roundabouts. We ended up a little bit better off, we were fortunate, because obviously not a lot of people were in that situation. But it forced me to focus on the education side of things even more, because at the very beginning of the pandemic, there was that uncertainty. I wasn't sure how it was going to pan out. So I knew that, or I was at least fairly certain that the brick and mortar companies would want to pause things, but I couldn't guarantee that other clients would be interested in increasing, and I couldn't guarantee that we would be able to generate new clients. So I focused on the education side of things, because I saw that as the perfect time to address something that it's been niggling with me for a long time. It was there's plenty of information out there. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of information that helps people who are just getting started. There's articles, there's YouTube videos, there's courses. It's just that I don't feel that a lot of the articles and YouTube videos go far enough. And it's not a curriculum, is it? Because, there's a reason that schools are not just a library card and says, okay, there we go, crack on with the geography section, work your way through. You've got to know what to read and why you're reading it, and be led through a process. You need people to take you down the road of this is what you learn first, then this, then this, then this. So curriculum is important. And of the courses I'm familiar with that are out there already, some of them are great, but a lot of them are very expensive. So I think that there's a middle ground there where we can help people who, if they've got a big budget, then they can just get somebody to pay for, they can just pay for somebody to do it for them, the done for you services. Yeah. So we want to kind of address people with a small budget and help them so that they can learn to do it themselves. And so that was that really drove me then to get the word out there, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that need that help.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We are coming toward the end of our time together, Michael. And for those who wants to perhaps learn with you, where can they find you?
So the website is Lightbulb Media. That's LITEBULBMEDIA. Lightbulbmedia.com. That's lightbulbmedia.com. And when you arrive on the homepage, you will see the lead magnet I have right now. It's a 30-day challenge, basically, and it's the journey to 1K. So it's basically aimed at people who are just getting started and have zero traction. We're hopeful, and I've had good feedback so far that it's a huge guide that I've put together, and it will help people basically get off that zero and start getting traffic and leads and hopefully sales to their website.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you're also on social media. We will put those links below this recording so that people can find you there. Any final thoughts here, Michael, before we part ways?
So the one thing that I like to kind of finish on, and it doesn't matter who I'm talking to, if I'm talking to a client or a prospect or somebody I'm teaching, the one overriding thing that I think a lot of people stumble over is just taking action.
Right.
They kind of, whatever it is that you're working on, whether it's the whole business idea or it's something new or a campaign or whatever, people seem to like to build it in the dark and keep it to themselves. And then when it's finished, sort of go, ta-da, and expect people to flock to it. And that's not what I would recommend, regardless of what it is. Get it to 70% and then put it out there. It's not going to be perfect, and that's going to be that's going to be difficult because you're making yourself vulnerable by putting yourself out there with something that's unfinished and you're not 100% about. But the problem is, it'll take you. Let's say it takes you a few months to get from 0 to 70% done. It'll take you just as long, if not longer, to go from 70% to 90%, and then the same again from 90 to 99%. So it's the law of diminishing returns. You want to get something out there at 70% and then fix it and go again, fall forward. There's a quote from Reid Hoffman, and it's one I use all the time because I love it. Reid Hoffman was the co-founder of LinkedIn. And he said, if you are not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you've launched too late. And I love that because, get it out there. If you're embarrassed by it, then you're doing the right thing by putting it out there. So that's something that's a piece of advice I always try to give people is, get over it, put it out there and fix it afterwards.
I like that quotation. I'm going to use it over and over and over again because I
use it all the time. I really do.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us here. I've been speaking with my dear friend here, Michael Wharton, talking about email marketing and some of the strategies that has worked for him and his clients. And I hope that has helped you greatly. Michael, you've been wonderful, man. Thank you for your generosity, sharing your knowledge with us here today.
Absolute pleasure, Yeukai. Really, really. Thank you very much for having me on.
Amazing. And finally, guys, if you haven't joined us on Clubhouse, I know I'm talking about this a lot because it is working so well for us. Who knows, it might stop working in a few months' time, but now while we are there, I'm connecting with a lot of you on a regular basis there. So if you haven't connected with us, hop over and then come on the stage, and we'd love to answer your questions and cheer you up and do all those wonderful things that we get to do as business owners here. And with that said, have a great day. And until next time, live well, live with passion, and also know that there is a whole lot of us on your side here, cheering you on to do the very best you can. Michael, once again, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks very much, Yeukai.
And goodbye for now.
Bye, man.
Thank you for listening to Yeukai Business Show. We will be back to bring you more episodes with success stories and advice straight from the experts. Want more? Check out www.yukaibusinessshow.com. Get your free trial of our virtual assistant service today. Just visit www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com. Quote WOS18 or send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com.